strength training isn't a gym thing. It's a mental health tool disguised as a barbell. When you push against weight, you're literally training your brain to push through resistance in life. If you're not building strength physically, you're also losing the mental edge that keeps you calm, confident, and resilient under pressure. I want to tell you a quick story about me when I first started Sasquatch. Most of you guys don't know this, but when Sasquatch was just starting out back in 2014, I ran everything, top to bottom. I bought a small failing gym, and at the time, I was 22, 23 years old. I only had enough money to afford myself. So the gym opened up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was the one that coached classes from 6 o'clock in the morning all the way to 8 o'clock at night. I was the manager. I was the janitor. I was the sales guy. I was the fulfillment guy. I was the trainer. I was the nutrition coach. I was absolutely everything top to bottom. I remember back then, I used to grab an Eno hammock and hang it from the rack inside of the gym and take a nap in the middle of the day because I just had no other way to get some rest in. I was getting home at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. I was done wrapping up all my responsibilities in the gym. And then I'd have to be back in the gym by 5:30 in the morning to be ready for the 6 a.m. class. All this while trying to scale the business, all this while doing my own accounting, while doing all my own janitorial services, while doing everything else that was required of me. I know the one thing that really helped me get through that period in my life was the fact that I was training consistently. When I was doing strength training, it allowed me to build this really robust foundation of strength, but also resilience. Mentally, I was really tough because nothing was going to be quite as difficult as my workouts. Every single day, even though I had all this stuff going on, even though I was running on 6 or 7 hours of sleep only, even though I really was only getting 2 big meals a day, I would throw on my lifting shoes in between some classes and get some lifting in. I would squat, I would bench, I would press, and that would honestly be like one of the hardest things I did that day is really challenge myself physically. And I think through that challenge, I just built this really resilient attitude towards the things that were going on. No matter what, I was going to figure out a way to handle it. So what I really want you to take from this is, yes, strength training is an amazing way to lose fat. It's an amazing way to start building some muscle. It's great for your energy. It's great for your overall health. But for those of you that are busy working professionals, for those of you that are entrepreneurs, for those of you that are managers, strength training is a phenomenal way to train yourself to show up for you, to show up for your family, to show up for your teams, and to just be overall more resilient. I found that it worked in my life unbelievably well, and I'm happy that I've passed this along to all of our employees and all of our amazing staff members at Sasquatch, and at this point to close to 30,000 people that we've worked with. So if you're open to it, I'll give you guys some ideas on how to get started, and I want you to pay attention. How does your brain and how does your body react when you start incorporating strength training into your routine? Are you more able to stay in a good mood when something bad happens? If somebody cuts you off in traffic, do you feel, like you instantly want to pounce, or do you feel a little bit more patient? When it comes to the workload that you're dealing with or issues with your family, do you feel like you're more patient? I found that the answer to all those things was yes once I started training more meaningfully. Practically speaking, what to do about it? First things first, I want you to lift heavy, and I want you to lift heavy at least 3 times a week. What I mean by heavy is I want the weight to be challenging for you for that day. So what I don't mean is go try and 1 rep max all of your lifts. That's not going to do anything great for you. But within the range of like 8 to 15, maybe even 20 repetitions for a particular movement, I want you to do 3 to 5 sets of that lift. And I want to make sure that it's really challenging. There's a concept that you'll listen to a lot if you start digging into strength training called reps in reserve. That is, if I were to do X many more reps, I would fail the movement, like not physically be able to lift that weight. We're looking for like a 3 to 5, right? You should be able to do 3 to 5 more repetitions before failure. But if you did any more than that, you would fail the movement and not physically be able to lift the weight again. What I'm trying to avoid here is the little pink dumbbells in the corner of the gym that are like 2 pounds or 3 pounds. Those are the ones that we don't really want to be playing with. you're rehabbing something, that's a totally different story. But I want you lifting weight that's challenging, that makes you work hard so that you can tell your body that it needs to adapt physically and grow muscle. Okay? It's also, when it comes to the mental aspect of strength training, that's what's going to help you, is something that's truly challenging, that's going to force you to grow mentally. Okay? Number two is I want you to do this really consistently. Consistent means at least 3 times a week, and I want you to do between 30 minutes to an hour's worth of resistance training. If you have a program that you're following, or you're going to a gym that has some classes or something like that around strength training, even better. But if you're doing it at home or you're doing it in a Globo gym, it's fantastic. 3 sessions a week, at least. If you could do more, amazing. 30 to an hour to that session. Again, we're doing 8 to 12 to 20 repetitions maximum per set, and we're doing 3 to 5 sets per movement. Okay? Maybe you pick 3 to 5 movements for that day, something like that. If you want a little bit more to be able to go off of, if you don't want to make this up on your own or spend too much quality time with ChatGPT, we have a 6-week at-home program that you can download for totally free. It's pretty good. It's going to give you a foundation of some stuff that you can start doing that might help you get started. So feel free to download that. Number 3, the most important thing of all of these things as you get going, is I want you to progressively overload. So what that means, really fancy word for lift a little bit heavier every week. Let's say we're doing 3 times a week, and we're doing like an upper body day, a lower body day, and then a full body day, something like that. If we lift, let's call it 135 pounds on the squat this week, next week, we want to lift 140 pounds, maybe 137.5 pounds. We just want to steadily increase the total volume of work that we're doing and the weights that we're doing, so that we send a clear message to your body that it's time to grow some muscle. Obviously, there's lots of other things we got to take care of too. We want to make sure that our nutrition is dialed in and all that stuff. But if we progressively overload those movements, we lift a little bit more every week, 2 amazing things are going to happen. 1, obviously, we're going to start to build muscle, which is great. We're going to get stronger. But 2, you are training that same part of your brain that is going to tell you that every single week you can take on a little bit more. You're just going to be that much more resilient. You're going to be that much more capable with your teams, with your families, with really anything that life throws at you. So I promise this sounds crazy, but just try it for a couple weeks. Try 4 weeks, 6 weeks. If you can get it to 12, unbelievable, and see just how much more capable you are in every other aspect of your life, just because you started strength training and training your brain along with your body. If you like this video, you can click on the link and go watch others like it.